When you think of win trading, you probably think of Duo Showdown. Showdown win trading is a bunch of French 12-year-olds yelling slurs at each other in a Discord server and basically ruining Showdown for everyone else. This is not that. This is a highly organized team dedicated to breaking the game without ruining it for anyone else. This video is going to contain a simple explanation of the method and some background. For a full explanation of how the math works, I'm going to break that out into a separate video. But before we get started with that, even if this whole escapade was my crazy idea, I could not have done it alone, and I'd like to thank everyone else involved. Topkek on the bow and Mandy for being a second mastermind and helping with the planning and the math. Tazy Toast on the Colt, Night Archer on the Buster, and Chicken Salad on the Carl for joining and running accounts for the push. Tryhard, who sadly wasn't able to push an account, but still ran burner accounts and managed internal security. Without further ado, the Rumble Jungle update in June 2023 included two major problems that make win trading possible. First, the 30-minute matchmaking blacklist. When you play someone in Brawl Stars, there is a cooldown period before you can play them again. This is explicitly to prevent win trading, and also to make sure you don't play the same enemies every game. The cooldown used to be 24 hours, which basically makes win trading impossible, but as of June 2023, you can win trade twice an hour. This is huge. This is the sole reason that win traders play both Showdown modes. Supercell knew this would happen when they changed matchmaking, and yet they changed it anyway for some reason. But we didn't use Showdown, we used 3v3. The second major change is the underdog changes. As of June 2023, when you lose a match with underdog, you don't lose trophies, leading to some very, very funny screenshots.
Say I have a friend at 1300 and I'm at 1500. We are more than 150 trophies apart, so underdog will be in play here. If my friend is able to queue into a match with me and throw the game for me, then I will get a +3 for 1,503. Normally my friend would get a -12 from that game for 1288, except remember, underdog is in play. So my friend doesn't lose 12, and instead stays at 1300 because of underdog. And you can repeat this as many times as you like. But now my trophies are even farther from his trophies than they were when we started. Having trophies farther apart means longer matchmaking, which means slower pushing, and we don't want that. So we need a way to catch him back up. If you draw a game and get underdog from it, you actually gain trophies. So let's see what happens if we draw a game. I will lose nothing because it's a draw. Normally my friend wouldn't gain anything either. Except remember, underdog is still in play, so he gains 2 trophies for drawing with me. Once again, you can repeat this as many times as you like. This basically means that you can materialize trophies out of thin air, even at very high levels of ladder. As long as 2 accounts are more than 150 trophies apart, they can infinitely generate trophies between them by alternating wins and draws, and climb forever. The only limit to this is the matchmaking cooldown.
And this is nice and all, but there's another thing that I haven't mentioned yet. This assumes that my friend only ever matches with me, and I only ever match with my friend. If we matched with different people, then we would basically just be pushing ladder normally, and we wouldn't be able to trade with each other. So how do we make sure that we only match into each other? The only way to do this is to be so high that nobody else in your region could possibly match into you. In order for our method to work, we had to push 150 trophies higher than the next highest person in the Western Hemisphere. Legitimately. Without exploits. Everyone pushed their brawlers to 1300 and 1500 legitimately before we even started the push. Except the story gets even dumber. We had planned for this push to take an entire month. Our most efficient plan was about 11 trophies an hour, which would have taken about 10 hours a day for an entire 28-day season. But we were able to push 4,500 in less than a single day, not a month. What happened? We did the original method from 1,500 to 2,000 over about 4 days in a number of 10-hour sessions, and then, somehow Supercell actually removed the 30-minute matchmaking cooldown when Larry and Laurie were added to the game. This basically meant that instead of facing each other every 30 minutes, we could face each other however fast we wanted. Now, instead of the speed bottleneck being the matchmaking cooldown, the bottleneck was how fast we could end ladder games. We ran the numbers and our rates jumped from about 11 trophies per hour to nearly 200 trophies per hour, so we all pulled together in one long push before matchmaking was fixed. To go from 2,000 to 4,691, we speedran Brawl Ball games for almost 18 hours, starting at 6 p.m. and ending shortly before noon the next day. This isn't even a glitch. The game's math is just sort of broken, and I hope Supercell fixes it. This push was exploited. We all acknowledge that it was, and no one is pretending that it was done legitimately. We did this push to bring attention to some of the problems with the game, especially win trading, in the hope that the developer team will fix them. They have the power. Literally all they have to do is return matchmaking cooldown back to 24 hours, or at least make it longer than 30 minutes. If they don't, then there won't be anything preventing people from replicating what we've done. I'm currently working on a video with a full explanation of the method and the math behind it. The full polished video with the explanation should be out publicly in a couple of days. If anyone is super interested in seeing the math now, I'll link a simple video in the description in the meantime.